media. Do stay with us today on the AM show. I'm back shortly with the news.
That's on the 11th to the 18th of September. We are expecting 100 people and already 48 is gone.
The team at Asin Travels Limited are planning a tour of Europe as part of the travel agency's 10th anniversary. Gideon Asari started the business, come to like traveling himself. So when he returned to Ghana, he reached out to his friends and started to work towards establishing the travel agency.
I realized that a lot of the case studies that was being used were not being done in Ghana. And so, personally, I didn't want to believe that the problem was with the market. I thought that problem was the products. So Ghanaians were not traveling because they were not getting, we were not making, the agents were not making the travel easy for them.
Asin Travels on the Joy Business Van this Wednesday on TV, radio, online and on ground. The Joy Business Van, powered by Joy Business and supported by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and MTN. What are we doing today?
The quest of building prosperity for Africans.
If you see what the SFT Secretariat has managed to do to date, it's a commendable job. It's tremendous improvement. And yes, delivering the vision is possible, and I think as Africans, as a continent, we are set for that.
And why are women being left behind?
You know, we did a study a few years ago that showed that Africa was losing close to $90 billion a year as a result of gender inequality, as a result of not empowering its women.
JoyNews goes head-to-head with international actors on the sidelines of AfriExim's annual meetings in Accra. Africa's prosperity, this week on Foreign Affairs.
Thanks for staying on the AM show. It's now time to bring you the news. And James Asin of the NDC will be making a return to Parliament after his constituents kept faith with him and helped him win the keenly contested Asin North constituency by-election on Tuesday. Officials of the Electoral Commission declared him victor, raising his hand to signal the status as NDC officials broke into their revolution chorus. There's more in this report.
Number one, he secured a percentage of 42.15%. Candidate number two secured 0.29%. Candidate number three had 57.56%. By the power in me vested, now total turnout is 74%, 74.23%. Now please can the candidates come. By the power in manifesto.
This is not Kumewu. We took Charles Opoku's money and spent it, but we did not vote for him. These were chants from some jubilant voters in Asin North after the NDC's James Tachikwesen was declared winner of the by-election, which many pundits and connoisseurs have described as the most keenly contested by-election in the Fourth Republic. The exercise started in the early hours of Wednesday morning with hundreds of voters queuing to cast their ballots. Despite strong assurances of thorough security preparations, there were minor disturbances, including the arrest of an imposter who was clad in a military uniform. This, however, did not distort the flow of proceedings, which was generally described as peaceful. Amidst the process, National Communications Officer of the opposition National Democratic Congress, Sami Jemfi, expressed confidence in his party's victory. According to him, the MPP's candidate was no threat at all, describing him as a political prostitute. But he was not the only one oozing with optimism. The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the ruling New Patriotic Party, Bernard Entry-Boesiako, popularly known as Chairman Wutumi, was equally confident about victory.
About 4 catch them said Nipa 26,000 now to Sisia.
26,000.
At the moment, the angels have told me that about 26,000 people have voted, out of which the NPP already has 16,000 of those votes.
But after all the results from all the 99 polling stations were received, it was the NDC's James Tachikwesen who emerged victorious with a total of 17,245 votes, representing 57.56% of the total votes cast, with Charles Opoku of the ruling New Patriotic Party garnering 12,630.
That's a report on what transpired yesterday in Asin North. Let's now hear from Fifi Fiavikwete, who is General Secretary of the NDC, and James Tachikwesen.
Election is a referendum. It's a referendum between the people of Ghana and MPP. And I'm excited because the people of Asin have really spoken what the people of Ghana have been saying all the time. And that is that this government, in the past 7 years, has failed the people of this country. Here we are, where inflation is about 42%. During our time, inflation was 15.5%. And they went on a spree of saying that we have failed as a government. We have failed as a government. Now, here we are, where our pensioners who have worked for so many years are now having to picket just to get the little money that is due them. Our factories have been shut down. Our currency has become a junk currency. You know, with all these things, you know, the people of Asin has spoken the language that the people of Ghana want to hear. And the results are very clear.
Mr. Fifi Kwete, and then pick a word from him. Thank you very much. Welcome to PM Express.
Thank you very much.
What as a political party, you fought so hard.
Yeah. Let's say, I mean, for us, it actually goes beyond the NDC as a party. It goes beyond the NDC. It's a victory not just for candidate Tachikwesen. It's a victory. It's a victory for truth. It's a victory for justice. And also it's a victory that signals that the people of Ghana are not prepared to sell their soul. That you cannot destroy a nation politically, morally, pervert the systems, the institutions, and come and think that you can buy the soul of the people by throwing what you call last-minute goodies at them, trying to deceive them and so on. So it's a number of great victories beyond just Asin North.
I'm going to engage you further, but let me pick a word from Honorable Joe Tachikwesen. Good evening. Welcome to PM Express.
I thought I just spoke to your counterparts.
This is JoyNews, PM Express live on TV. Good evening.
Good evening.
You should be happy now by now. Happy man by now.
I've always been happy. Tonight is exceptional because Asin North people have vindicated every court and myself and they still believe in me, so that makes me happy.
What does this victory mean to you personally? Are there lessons to be shared to the whole world?
Well, I mean, principles and values I work with, and I don't quit easily. So long as I know the cause I'm leading is genuine and it benefits other people. You see, you haven't been in a situation where you have to sacrifice your own life interest for the benefit of others. Until you are there, you will not understand it. Somehow you get an inspiration and you become fearless because you are standing for the truth, you are standing for justice, you're standing for almost everything that benefits other people other than yourself. That is why we have people like the Kwame Nkrumahs and we have people like the Mandelas. All right? Otherwise, somebody has to do it. Somebody has to be in that position sometimes. So I'm very...
What do you tell the people of Asin North for what they have done, the victory they have given you?
Well, the victory belongs to them. The victory belongs to Ghana. And the victory belongs to rule of law, justice.
Are you daunted by the fact that you'll be going to court very soon?
No. That's the least of my thought. I'm focused on how I can get Asin North developed. The court can take its own course. I mean, as I said earlier, I have not committed any wrong to worry about what is ahead of in legal terms. No.
All right. Thank you very much, George Achikwesin.
Thank you.
The one that has been declared as the winner of this by-election. Let me come back to Fifi Kwete. So does this election, the results that we are seeing now, does it have a bearing on the 2024 elections?
I would say it's a signal. It's a signal that the country is ready to do everything possible to stop a number of things that are going on. I mean, the destruction of the economy, the destruction of the moral fiber of the country, the perversion of our institutions, the weaponization of institutions to destroy truth and justice. I think a number of things are at stake, and the people of Ghana are signaling that enough is enough.
Did you send sympathy vote, or it was just a referendum on the economy?
I see it's a number of things, so many things together. The people clearly are tired. The people clearly have seen that their economy is destroyed, their welfare is down. They can see the injustice that was happening. They can see the insults that was happening by last-minute attempt to buy their soul using what you call money and goods. So many things were together. So we see a signal, an awakening, and a message that is being sent to the rest of Ghana.
And what should we be expecting from the NDC as you've chalked this victory? What should we be expecting from you?
We are going to move into high gear. We are going to move into strategy. We are going to move to what you call effective planning towards 2024. And of course, coming up with ideas that we need to be able to revive this economy and restore Ghana again.
It appears that we were very swift in collating this particular result. Under 2 hours, you were able to put together the results and then the jubilation started. I mean, is it a sign of some new development that we should...
We have said it, that some of the mistakes made in the past will not be repeated. I personally have pledged to the country that we will clearly see a coalition system that's different. That's the beginning of things that are happening.
So away from the election in Asin North, we'll be delving into that much later on the show. Though they have more than 50% of them involved in farming, the main challenge they face is access to huge unfertile land. They're often allotted farmlands that are seen to be infertile. That is the challenge faced by women farmers in the Upper West region. At the launch of this year's celebration of the World Day on Desertification and Drought, various stakeholders called for a change in the status quo to enable women who are seen to be better managers of lands go on with their farming activities. Our Upper West Regional correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from WA.
The specific objectives of the celebration is to raise public awareness on the underlying effect of desertification and drought, highlight efforts that are being made to combat desertification and drought, and inspire stakeholder support for the advancement of women land rights. This year's celebration of the day is on the theme Her Land, Her Rights, Advancing Gender Equality and Land Restoration Goals. Speaking at the launch, Acting Upper West Regional Director of the Environmental Protection Agency, Emmanuel Luknuli, noted that the day is celebrated in June every year to raise public awareness of the effect of gender inequality on adoption of land restoration measures and to encourage stakeholder participation in line with restoration and sustainable land management to combat desertification and mitigate the effect of drought.
Because women do not have adequate access to land and do not have secure land rights, they are often allocated parcels of land that are low in soil fertility. And they often have the fear of losing land when they manage it so well and revive the fertility. They have the fear of losing it to men. So once they do not have secure land rights to manage the land and to restore the fertility and use it continuously, they tend not to invest so much in restoring the infertile lands that are often allocated to them. And this is one of the issues that this year's celebration of the World Day to combat desertification tends to highlight. Because, as we all know, when women have adequate access to land and secure land rights, they tend to manage the land very well. And women also constitute more than 50% of the people that are engaged in agriculture.
Chief Director at the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council, Peter M. Mala, speaking on behalf of Upper West Regional Minister, Dr. Hafiz bin Sali, observed that the core environmental challenge